Welcome to episode 2 of All Hands from the New Warehouse. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you for the great feedback on episode 1. If you have any feedback on today's episode or how to improve this show going forward, please let me know. We are in the beginning phases and still developing what this weekly show will become. We want it to be very beneficial and valuable to you. So this week on the podcast, the audio podcast, we had A to Z drone delivery and Power Fleet featured. So be sure to check those out on your favorite podcast platform. And we are also starting to release more written content on the blog at thenewwarehouse.com with our first piece coming out this week from our writer, Mike Huff. He writes about something that I've been asked about a lot recently. What are the trade shows to pay attention to and look at for the warehousing industry, whether you're in the warehousing industry or you want to network with people in the warehousing industry? You can definitely check out that blog post at thenewwarehouse.com. And coming up, as we talked about last week, we'll be at Manifest and we'll be at some other shows this week as well. So be sure to check out that blog post to find out. Now, on today's show, All Hands, we're going to have a great warehouse safety tip from Anders Green. He is from alox.online. And we're also going to be sharing, I'm very excited for this, we're going to finally be sharing my visit to the SVT Robotics Innovation Lab down in Virginia. So let's check out the warehouse safety tip for this week from Anders, and then we'll come back.
Hi, my name is Anders Green, and I'm with alox.online, which is a full cloud ERP. The safety tip I have for you today for the warehouse is going to be lighting. And now, certainly, if we look at OSHA's recommendations, you can go from a very little bit to a massive amount if you're in like laboratory conditions. But what that really tells you is there's almost no amount of lighting for the warehouse that is going to be too much. The good news is that LED lighting has come down crazy in expense. It's only about 8% of what it used to cost 10 years ago for the same amount of illumination. And so combined with massively more efficient, lowered electricity cost, lowered maintenance cost, all that on top of an enhanced bonus for safety levels of just having more light, it's a great time to evaluate the lighting conditions in your warehouse.
Thank you to Anders for shining a light on that warehouse safety tip. Sorry, I couldn't resist. But now we want to make sure that you're able to share your safety tips as well. So be sure to get in touch. There's a link in the description below, and I'll throw one in the comments too, where you can sign up and share your safety tip as well. So get a chance to come on the show here, share your safety tip. Promote your company as well. A great way to do that. We want to make sure that we're sourcing safety tips from all over the warehousing industry, and ensuring that we're bringing you the best tips that we can, and creating that awareness around safety, because we always want to make sure that we have safety coming first. So now we're going to dive into our main segment this week, which is my visit to SVT Robotics Innovation Lab in Virginia. And thank you to the fine folks at SVT for inviting me in and allowing us to experience the Innovation Lab and see all the great things happening there. So let's check it out and let's see what they do there at SVT Robotics.
Hey, it's Kevin Long with the New Warehouse podcast. I'm here in Norfolk, Virginia at the SVT Robotics Innovation Lab, and I'm joined by TJ Fanning. He's the VP of Sales here for SVT Robotics. We're going to get a demo of the Softbot platform today and see how it works with all our robotics friends. But first, I'm going to throw it over to TJ, who's going to tell you a little bit about SVT and their mission here with the Innovation Lab.
Yeah, thanks, Kevin. Super excited to welcome you to the SVT Robotics demo space. Here, what we showcase is our Softbot platform and the interoperability across all subsystems that are appropriate across the supply chain. This includes WMS, ERP applications, but as you can see behind me, a number of different robotic solutions, everything ranging from voice pick, vision-based picking, pick assist solutions from 6 River, Locus, but of course, more complex solutions like goods to person, automation, robotics, auto bagging, and more. Why don't we get kick-started? Welcome to SVT.
I'm here at SVT Robotics now with Leonard. He's the VP of Products for SVT, and he's going to tell us a little bit about the Softbot platform, exactly what is a Softbot, and then show us a little bit, do a deep dive into a demo, so we get to see how does the Softbot platform really interact with all our robotic friends that we see here behind us. So Nick, why don't you tell us a little bit about the Softbot platform and what is a Softbot?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Kevin. So the Softbot platform is an intelligent data brokerage platform between these technologies, right? So that could be robotics technologies, could be software only, like a WMS or maybe a time clock system, et cetera. Could also be low-level technologies like IoT sensor data or maybe conveyor PLCs, things like that, right? So it just depends on what we're trying to bring together to provide that solution for our customers. A lot of times we get asked on how do you provide this rapid interoperability? So we do that by creating a Softbot, hence the name of the Softbot platform. And so what we do is we abstract all the API calls and all these normal API calls that are different depending on what technology and the use case it is, down to an abstraction layer we call our data abstraction layer. Right, so you think about all the different WMSs out in the marketplace, they're all sending orders maybe down to a system, but maybe the data is a little bit different in each place, right? So we normalize that data in a common structure, and then Softbots exchange that common structure with rapid interoperability. So this is how we can provide these rapid integrations with little to no custom code at the edges, really reducing the total cost of ownership for our customers as well as our technology providers that are using the platform. And so we've also showcased this here. This is App Directory. This is on our website today. So appdirectory.svtrobotics.com, where you can browse all the partner technologies that we've either built or prospective builds for technology. So you can see here, looking in, you can see all of our partner technology and some of the possible integrations and capabilities that we have with the platform right out of the box.
Talking about data extraction and all these different things, right? But I think what people want to see, they want to see how this works. They want to see how the robots move. And they want to see how easy it is just to integrate these into your platform. So we're going to take a dive and see on the demo how this actually works and see some robots move around today.
So let's get an order created, right? So we have a Shopify store here that is mapped to all the inventory in the warehouse. So I don't know if you want to give me something, let's order.
Yeah, I have a Belvita every morning for breakfast, so I'll have one of those.
And then maybe I'll add a hot and spicy as well to it.
All right, yeah, lunch too. We'll throw lunch in there.
So let's go ahead and check out and we'll get that order completed. So what you're looking at here is the Softbot platform, more specifically App Lab. And this is where we take already built Softbots and deploy them in an environment with rapid interoperability. So we'll do that drag and drop deployment here in a second, but I do want to just show kind of what makes a Softbot special, right? So for instance, here I have the Asaro connector. And in here, when I go into Softbot Designer, you can see visually we've laid out that API and mapped it out to all of our events on our abstraction layer. So traditionally, you have integration platforms out there that go point to point, field to field, right? Okay. But we recognize that's inflexible, right? Because now, what do we know about the industry now? You're deploying more often. You want to have that build, measure, learn mindset. What we do is we abstract those API calls down into common events. Maybe with Asaro, I have a transport from one location to the next. That API call may be different than other picking arm technologies. So what I do is I take Asaro's API call and map that to new transport, update transport, complete transport, et cetera. And that allows us to just publish that data to a common data bus between Softbots so they can rapidly share that information. And then we build them using the Softbot Designer here. So the whole idea here is if you can build a Visio flowchart, you can build a Softbot. So let's go back to the execution logs and let's take a look. And what you'll see is the fishbowl connector run asking for orders. And then you can see 6 River ran here. So it's actually picked up those orders and we're ready to pick.
Okay, cool. Just like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, now that Nick has placed his first order, let's show you how fast our partner 6 River Systems can help us process that order. So the first thing I'll do is log in. And when I log in, you'll notice on the screen that it goes ahead and tells me the size of the tote. And so I'll grab a tote here and I'll scan that tote and it tells me where to place it. You'll notice on 6 River that it gives me a light directed pick solution. And so as I continue to add these totes, it's going to direct me on where to put the tote. Now the 6 River bot will go meet its first picker to go ahead and execute those tasks. Unfortunately, we're understaffed today, And so now I need to actually go pick. So I'll go into the pick field here. And you'll notice that 6 River is waiting on the picker to now go ahead and log into the vehicle. And so in this case, I'll scan my badge again so it knows who's picking. And you notice that it will direct me to the appropriate pick location. So on the screen itself, it's telling me where in the warehouse to go. I don't need to necessarily know how to get there, but it's going to display the item, picture of that item, the rack location. And so in this case, I know to grab these specific chips, and I'll go ahead and scan the UPC so we can make sure we have the right item. And you'll notice it tells me where to place those chips. And Chuck will continue to direct me on exactly where to go, walking me step by step through the pick process so that I don't create an error. You'll notice that it's 2 here, so I actually need 2 of these items. And as I continue to operate their entire pick path, notice that I am being directed on how to get to each solution. The picking locations are known from 6 River, based upon the allocation that happened in this case from Fishbowl. So as I continue to be directed through the pick process, you'll notice that I don't necessarily need to know where anything's at. It's giving me all the information I need to continue to pick all the orders that are on Chuck. What's really great about 6 River is that because it's a directed pick workflow, the operator always knows exactly where they're headed. They know exactly what to pick, and we are confirming that they're picking the right item to the right order and maintain accuracy as well as drive additional optimizations. So now that I've completed the entire pick process for multiple orders, that bot will return back to where we loaded, and I'll continue to pick with the next chuck, making sure that I maximize my throughput. Unfortunately, since I'm the only picker today, I also now need to come over here and unload these totes from the bot and prepare it for its next pick run. Now that I go to load additional totes to Chuck, I've realized that I really wish I actually had a way to get rid of the order totes, but also bring me additional work to be done. I wonder if my IT group can help. Nick, you think you can help with that?
Yeah, so this is some of the common challenges we see, right? So one of the things we believe in is really just enabling customer to have this build, measure, learn mindset so they can rapidly iterate their automation solutions and decorate the solution to being something more, right? So let's solve TJ's first problem with empty tote replenishment. So now he's got all these totes going to pack out. They're getting stacked up over there. They're in the other side of the facility, and now he needs to get them automatically replenished back to his loading line here for 6 River. So what we're going to do is we'll deploy an IoT to transport capability. And so what we'll go ahead and do is we'll take Banner, IoT connector. What that's doing is taking that signal from the Banner, and then it's in publishing that sensor to our data bus. And then I'm going to put in the mirror connector. So that's going to get my transport executing point A to point B. But I have a delta now, right? I have an IoT measurement, and now I need to get transport going. So how do I make that translation and give the user some capability? So what we've done is we also have this configurable push to sense feature. And what that allows us to do is serve a web page for users to use like mailbox rules like Outlook to say, hey, if I get a sensor of this, take it here. So we'll deploy that. And as you notice, I just left 6 River and Fishbowl in the solution. And so now I have more softbots in my solution. So 2 applications running in parallel, all orchestrated in the same environment. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up the configurable screen so you can see those devices. We'll go ahead and add a push button device here. What this is doing is it's asking Banner what devices it has in its API. So we're handling all of that back-end code for you. So the user in the warehouse just goes, hey, I need to add a sensor. They add it to Banner, and then it automatically shows up here on the screen. So now I need to add rules. I added a simple rule here like bring totes to induction. So I've gone ahead and done that for you, but you can see what that looks like here on the screen. We've created a rule for bring totes to induction. And then, hey, now I have an empty shelf. I need to get it back to TJ so he can get a loop going there, right, from his operation. So we've done that as well.
To get some additional totes, all I need to do is press this button from Banner. And thanks to the Banner Softbot, it will go ahead and send a mission to go grab Mirror, and Mirror will start the process of bringing me totes to load onto the chuck. So you'll notice that Mirror is using a Robex RowEQ stand. That RowEQ stand enables us to put anything that we would like on the Mirror bot. And upon arrival of Mirror to my solution here, I go ahead and pull the totes off. I'll place them into my workspace. I'm going to push the cart, and that banner proximity sensor will detect it. And so with that and the Softbot platform, Nick created the rule for us to enable the takeaway of this container as well. The beauty of this is that your operators, even at a line side delivery, can go ahead and quickly get rid of a cart or process a cart. They don't have to go to a user interface to request the robot to come do something. You can quickly just tie a measurement device from one of our partners to create a specific workflow that matches the needs of your facility. Well, thanks, Kevin, for making some orders and allowing us to show you how easy it is to pick using the Softbot platform and how we can make things interoperable. Let us know as you continue to run across new technologies that you interview with the New Warehouse podcast, and happy to continue to explore how we can make them interoperable.
Definitely. Thank you, TJ, and thank you to the team at SVT Robotics for inviting me in and being able to showcase this space and show it to the audience we have at the New Warehouse and help educate people on the Softbot platform. See a lot of cool robotic solutions as well, and we'll definitely be in touch and be letting you know what else we want to see on the Softbot platform. And we'll be looking forward to the opening of the new Innovation Lab in 2023 as well.
Yeah, we're super excited to welcome many of your listeners and or the New Warehouse podcast video. If you're wanting to come to Norfolk and visit, let us know.
And try the barbecue down the street.